All right, guys, welcome back to the channel, man. So in today's video, we got Evan Sidery reporting about a couple hours ago. Today, I'm recording the videos on the 12th of January, Sunday. The Lakers and Warriors are viewed as the strongest trade suitors for Nikola Vucevic. Both teams can match Vucevic's $20 million salary. Talks with the Bulls utilizing various contracts. Chicago will likely have to end up settling for second-round draft capital on Vucevic. So Evan Sidery is a pretty reliable source when it comes to NBA news and rumors and stuff like that. The Lakers have been mentioning multiple trade rumors with Nikola Vucevic. This guy would be a perfect fit for this team, along with guys like Jonas Valanciunas, Nick Richards. It's a lot of guys that can fit this team, man. This team just needs a solid backup center. Nikola Vucevic is more than solid. He's playing like an all-star this season. If you get an all-star caliber player for a couple second-round picks and a couple guys that's not really contributing to winning on your team, that is a phenomenal trade for your team. Now, although Nikola Vucevic is getting older, he's one of those type of players that does not rely on athleticism, quickness, stuff like that. He's more of a skilled big man. He's a skilled 7-foot big man that can shoot the three, that can shoot the mid-range, can make free throws at a high clip, and he is a rebounding machine. He's had multiple games this season with 10+ rebounds. And then on top of that, guys, he's going to be your backup center. So if he's playing anywhere from 20 to 25 minutes a game, he can even play on the court at the same time as Anthony Davis at times. Just like a couple seasons ago, when Christian Wood was healthy, or last season, at times Christian Wood looked pretty good out there on the court with Anthony Davis because he can spread the floor. And Nikola Vucevic is probably a better 3-point shooter than Christian Wood. He is a great 3-point shooter. Just let alone this season, I believe he's shooting 40% from three. I think, yeah, he's shooting 42% from three just this season. That is phenomenal. Look at his numbers this year: 32 minutes a game and 38 games played too. That's not a small sample size. Shooting 55% from the field, 43% from three, and he's averaging 10 rebounds and he's averaging 3 assists. That's another guy that you can throw the ball down to in the post, or the high post, or the mid post, or the low post, wherever you want to get him the ball at, and you can run offense through this guy. You can run offense through this man. So a lot of people are saying that they don't want Nikola Vucevic because he's such a terrible defender. But when I watch him play actual basketball games, he's on a bad defensive team. When you put him on this team with all of these good defensive players that we have, like Dorian Finney-Smith, Jared Vanderbilt is coming back soon, um, Max Christie, and some of the other guys we have that can defend the ball pretty good. This would be a good trade. This would be a good trade because you can cover up some of his flaws with some of the good defensive players you have, and he can come at you in waves in offense. This would give Lakers way more firepower. It would give us really good size. It would give us another good rebounder that we don't have. We don't have a great rebounder on this team other than Anthony Davis. Jared Vanderbilt is a pretty good rebounder for his size, but he hasn't played this year. So Jared Vanderbilt's coming back. Nikola Vucevic is a really good rebounder. And on top of that, usually Anthony, now with having an all-star caliber type of player, this guy's been an all-star multiple times in his career, and he's having an all-star season this year with the Bulls. So since you're getting an all-star caliber player averaging 20 and 10 coming to your team, you might switch up your rotations just a little bit. Maybe you can rest AD a little bit more. Maybe he doesn't have to play as many regular season minutes. Or you can put another big out there on the court with him sooner, so he won't have to bang with other centers and risk injury so much more in the regular season. So, and like I said, man, I always anticipate when it comes to trading for players how they can match up against potential teams that you're going to be playing against in the postseason. If you go against the Memphis Grizzlies in the playoffs, you can start Nikola Vucevic with Anthony Davis in certain matchups. Or if you're going against the Denver Nuggets, you can start Nikola Vucevic in that matchup with Anthony Davis against the Nuggets. It's certain matchups in the Western Conference that you can't start Nikola Vucevic. Now, there are certain matchups that Anthony Davis, it's only going to have to be one big on the court, because there are some smaller teams in the Western Conference, like the Kings, like the Warriors, like the Rockets. There are some smaller teams in the league that just really depend on wings and athleticism. So he probably wouldn't be playing that much on the court along with Anthony Davis in those type of matchups. But at the same time, you still need another center that you can rely on when Anthony Davis goes to the bench. He can't play all 48 minutes. Anthony Davis cannot play all 48 minutes. And you will be getting a more than reliable center and Nikola Vucevic that's been doing this for a while, man. Nikola Vucevic has been a really good player for a long time. For his career, he averages, what does he average for his career? 17 points a game, almost 11 rebounds, 3 assists. So what he's pretty much averaging this season is pretty much what he's been doing his whole career. You get a guy on your team like this, man, alongside Anthony Davis and LeBron James. This is what the Lakers have been missing. They have not been a contending team, a strong contending team ever since the 2020 season, when they had another center that they could rely on. Now, Anthony Davis, along with JaVale McGee and Dwight Howard, those guys were more defensive minded, but the Lakers haven't even had a big body, strong center since those guys. Marc Gasol was pretty solid in 2021, and he would be, Nikola Vucevic would be a virgin, kind of like Marc Gasol, but better in my opinion, because Marc Gasol was at the edge of his career. He wasn't as good as he was earlier. He wasn't putting up all-star caliber numbers when he joined with the Lakers. So if you was to get Nikola Vucevic, he would be a better version of Marc Gasol that can spread the floor, that can run the pick and roll, run the pick and pop. You can give him the ball in the middle of the court. He can make great passes, great reads, because he's a pretty good passer. And at times, like I said, he's a bigger body, so he can bang and bruise along with other centers that like to go down in the low post, and you won't have to play Anthony Davis in those positions all the time. The last couple of years, when the Lakers have went up against the Nuggets, they tried to have Rui being the primary defender on Nikola Jokic, and having kind of like AD be that shadow guy and playing in that shadow, like where Aaron Gordon likes to play in that dunker spot, and kind of just shadow Rui Hachimura and Nikola Jokic. He'll be able to come over and play defense and double team or be able to block the shot. Rui Hachimura is not big enough for that. He's not. He's just not big enough for that. His defensive instincts are not good enough for that type of defense. And it's just like, if you have Nikola Vucevic, he's a bigger body, so he'll be able to do that at a higher level than Rui Hachimura, because he's taller, he's bigger, and then on top of that, he plays the center position. And you can have Anthony Davis guarding Aaron Gordon. He's capable of guarding Aaron Gordon. He's more than capable of that. So, like I said, certain matchups, this trade will make the Lakers better. And just in general, this trade will make the Lakers better. Giving up second-round picks for an all-star caliber player that's having an all-star season, we cannot discount. The Bulls are not a very good team. They have some good players on their team. They have some talented players, but as a team, they are not a very good team. And when you're putting up these type of numbers at this type of efficiency, 55% from the field, 42%, almost basically 43% from three, as a big, and the volume on the three-point shot, it ain't like he's shooting like 1 or 2 a game. There's been multiple games I've watched Vucevic shoot 5, 6 threes every single game. He doesn't shoot like 2 a game or 1 a game. He's not a low-volume three-point shooter. He gets them up there. So he is a good three-point shooter. He is not a bad three-point shooter. And just his career average. What is his career average? 35% from three. That's about league average. Even if he can do that for the Lakers, 35% from three. That'll be great. That'll be phenomenal, because you'll be able to spread the floor and you'll have another three-point shooting threat out there. Now, this season, he's shooting 43%. He's going to get a lot of open looks with the Lakers, because playing with LeBron, playing with AD, there's going to be a lot of attention on those guys. So you're going to be able to get a lot of attention. And Austin Reeves, let's start talking about Austin Reeves too when we're talking about playing with LeBron and AD. Playing with Austin Reeves. Austin Reeves has become a phenomenal floor facilitator, and he's becoming better and better every single season. He's a great one-on-one scorer when he's getting mismatches. And if you run in pick and roll or pick and pop with Nikola Vucevic instead of Jackson Hayes, you're going to be able to get way more mismatches easier. So that just makes your offense more explosive. That makes your offense better, because you're going to be getting mismatches all the time. And that's pretty much how the Dallas Mavericks beat the Lakers last game. Even though the Lakers had a terrible game on offense, they just continue to go at the Lakers' weakest defenders. They continue to go at Austin Reeves. They continue to go. They just pick and roll baited Dalton Connect, Austin Reeves, some of our weakest defenders the entire game. Jackson Hayes. They just kept trying to get these guys in pick and roll, get them to switch and play one-on-one basketball, and they just continue to torch those matchups one-on-one. They did that the whole game. That game might have been the worst game I've seen JJ coach the whole season. Instead of blitzing those guys and getting the ball out their hands, he just continued to let them switch and run pick and roll, and they just got torched on that the whole game. But like I said, you can have that type of advantage on your team, because we do have some pretty decent one-on-one players Austin Reeves is probably the best one-on-one player on our team, just like getting to the rim and stuff like that. You also have, obviously you have LeBron. So when it comes to one-on-one on the perimeter, you know, you have two good players that can get to the rim and attack one-on-one and stuff like that. And when you have guys that have big bodies that set good screens and they actually are a threat when they pick and they roll or they pick and they pop, like Nikola Vucevic, that just makes your team that much better. So I'm all in on this type of trade. I think after Walker Kessler, I think Vucevic is probably my second favorite trade target for the Lakers when it comes to centers or just bigs in general, that the guys that they can possibly trade for. I think after, obviously Walker Kessler is the ideal target. He is the number one target that they should trade for. But I think Nikola Vucevic is the second, in my opinion, because even though he is older, he's 34 years old. But like I said, he doesn't depend on athleticism. He's not like an extremely athletic player, never has been really. And like I said, you putting up the numbers you're putting up, you're definitely not washed. You're not finna just drop off a cliff. You're not finna go from averaging 20 and 10 to averaging 9 and 4. Or, you know, you're not finna just drop off a cliff within like the next year. Unless some type of major injury happens. That's the only risk. But at the same time, you're only giving up second round picks for this guy. If Evan Sidery, if he's on point with his reporting, you're only giving up second round picks with this guy, guys. Second round draft capital for Vucevic. Like, the Bulls are not in the position to where like they can just be demanding first round picks for this guy. No. You're not in the position to be doing that because you're not about to be winning. He's getting older. You're not winning. You're not about to be a playoff contending team or championship contending team. You're just not that. So what I'm saying is, go ahead and get this guy the opportunity to play for a contender on the other side of on the other conference too. He's not going to be in the Eastern Conference if you trade him to the Lakers or the Warriors. He's not going to be in the Eastern Conference. So go ahead and get your draft capital. You know, go ahead and get some guys on your team that you can, you know, that can help you the rest of the season or whatever. Maybe in the future, maybe you like guys like Gabe Vincent, or whatever. Some of the guys when it come to contracts. But yeah, just in general, this is the right move to make, in my opinion. This is the right move to make, in my opinion, and you can definitely trade or stack up some guys on your team to get to the $20 million salary. But like I said, man, Vucevic would be perfect for this team, and if we was to do this, I'd be happy about it. It's not Walker Kessler, but I think it's the second best option that you have. So let me know how you guys feel about it in the comment section down below. I'll catch you guys in the next video.